What's up guys, Chief right here. I recently finished playing Pokemon Brown, the first Pokemon hack ever, and I'm gonna talk about it today. I have a couple of disclaimers before we get started. I didn't include any boss battles in this showcase on the assumption that anyone watching who didn't already play this game beforehand wanted a semi-blind first playthrough. However, gym battles and other important parts of future Pokemon game showcases will be shown in regions that are in the main series. There's going to be gameplay happening in the background showing you guys different parts of my playthrough while I talk about my experience and just share information about the game itself. This is my first time making a video like this, so a lot of the editing and content will be experimental. Anywho, let's get started. My playthrough was completely blind since I never played Pokemon Brown prior to last month, so it genuinely felt like I was a kid again playing a brand new Pokemon game. This is a hack that takes place in a region called Rijon, which is located south of Johto. Before beginning your adventure, you get to pick between the Kanto starters. One thing I noticed while playing was a lot of Kanto Pokemon, but that was to be expected as there weren't many Pokemon to include around the time this hack was made. Years later though, the 2009 remake actually expanded the dex to 224 mons, and the 2024 remake expanded it to 231. I did end up finding a Noibat in the first cave, which was unexpected, but cool, especially after seeing that it's a sound dragon type in this game. That made me realize that there's new types in this game, which was also a surprise. Wood, gas, abnormal, wind, and sound. This is the type chart with those added typings, and here are some other mons that have had their typings changed in the 2024 version. I personally liked those additions because it was different compared to your average Pokemon hack where you kinda know what to expect from each Pokemon, but now you have to relearn type matchups, and that adds a layer of difficulty. As I was playing, I noticed the adventure being a little less linear than Kanto, which was neat. There's a few points in the game where you have to backtrack to certain locations in order to progress, but a lot of the cities and towns were close to each other for the most part. I just wish there was more conflict. Besides the rival battles, which weren't too frequent to begin with, you encounter Team Rocket only a couple of times and they don't have much of an evil team presence. It feels like they were just dropped into the game so you had a chore to get through. While I think the creators should have spent more time on Team Rocket's purpose, I'm not going to get on them too much for that as this was the first Pokemon hack ever. There really wasn't a lot to work with back then. There's a level jump towards the end that caught me off guard, but the battles were still doable. My team was probably just goated though, I'm not going to lie. The Elite Four had pretty dope teams too, but they did not compare to my Hall of Famers. Here they are in all of their glory. The MVPs of this team were definitely Rhyme and Bloomer. I think I have a newfound love for Dugong after this run. All in all, this was an enjoyable and chill hack. In my opinion, this is a good hack to play if you took a break from Pokemon and wanted to return for a laid back and elevated Gen 1 experience. I could definitely see myself playing this again in the future. In the after game, you could visit Johto, explore new areas, and catch legendaries, so if y'all want a part 2 where I show my playthrough of that, feel free to let me know in the comments. There's also a sequel called Pokemon Prism that was completed years ago, so I'll definitely be checking that out sometime soon. I did play Prism before, but the version I played is presumably much different than the finished product. I also don't remember anything from that game, meaning it will basically be another new adventure, which I'm always down for. Back to Pokemon Brown though, I put a link in the description which will take you guys to Rainbow Devs where you can download the patch and play along. I also linked to the Rijon wiki page if y'all wanted more in-depth information about all the new changes and features. With that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching and I'll see y'all in the next vid.